Hi guys, hope you're doing good, and today I'm going to be doing another CD update, and this one is part 3 of the Simon contest winnings from back in November 2024. I would have liked to have gotten this one done quite a few months before now, but obviously with the injury, a lot of things just sort of got thrown out of the window for me, and these albums particular were just sitting here at the computer for months. I kind of neglected them really, so it's taken me a little bit of time, a bit more time to get round to them and listen to them, but finally now I'm here doing the video, and I've got 11 albums that I'm going to show in this one. A few less known bands, and the rest are more well-known bands, especially in the VC, the metal community. I've got a few things that are more melodic death metal, some straight out death metal, and a few thrash metal at the end. So yeah, once again, thanks Simon for sending me this awesome contest winnings, and yeah, I'm still getting through it all, and anyway, I hope you go on to enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. So as I just said, the first few here are going to be the less known bands, and quite a lot of these I didn't know myself, and a lot of these are just going to be like second impressions for my initial thoughts of what I thought of these. So the first one is a band called Artas, and this is their debut album called The Healing. It came out in 2008 on 2007, sorry. No, it is 2008. On Napalm Records. They formed in 2007. That's where I got the 2007 from. And this band are from Austria, and they're a melodic death metal band. They kind of play that sort of 2000s modernist melodic death metal. It's like a little bit of like a thrashy vibe with some of the songs. I liked it. I thought it was okay, sort of like a lot of like meat and potatoes kind of riffing throughout. Decent vocals on it. I liked the first couple of tracks. I thought they were really good. But in the middle and towards the end, sort of where it lost me a little bit. Especially the cover they did. They do the cover of Gangsta's Paradise, which is a rap song, and I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff. But they kind of made it sound like a Machine Head song, which is alright, but again, I don't think I need to ever listen to that again. But yeah, basically, I thought it was okay. They've got another 2 albums that they did after this. I'm not 100% sure whether I'll give them a go. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was alright. Next up is a band called H.A.L or H.A.L, and this is their one and only album they put out in 2011. Looking at the album art, you'd think it would be some kind of like black metal, but it's not. It sounds like metalcore infused melodic death metal, and I really enjoyed this. I thought this was really good. There's not much to look at in there. It's very like bare bones, very raw. The production's very raw, but I like the riffs. I like the vocals. There's some really nice guitar solos throughout as well. There's a nice instrumental song in the middle. It's a shame that they only really did this in a couple of EPs and demos, and that was really all they did. And it's a shame because this is really good. I really enjoyed it. Next up is an American band called Ankla, and this album's called Steep Trails from 2006, and this is again their one and only album. They did do an EP and a demo, But yeah, the best way I can describe this, it's like that mid 2000s Soulfly. You know, they mix that kind of groove metal with Latin metal. It's got a real Latin kind of vibe to it. Very much like Soulfly. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, there were a couple of moments that sounded a little bit like Machine Head and like that new metal kind of sound. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. There's some really great guitar playing, some really nice flamenco on a couple of tracks. Yeah, the vocals were quite cool because they sort of done a lot of dynamics in the vocals. Sometimes they done a little bit more clean vocals, but other times he went for that kind of Max Cavalera vocal style. And yeah, some pretty good groove metal, but with like a Latin like influence there. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Next up is a hardcore band from the Netherlands called Born from Pain, and this is also their debut album called Reclaiming the Crown, and it's come out in 2000. And on the Metal Archives, it said that they were like a hardcore metalcore band with thrash, but I didn't really hear that too much. I kind of thought this album sounded more like more death metal Hatebreed, because it had like the groove and it had the hardcore kind of sound, but then it also had some like Obituary and Bolt Thrower kind of riffs here and there. I thought it was pretty cool. I think my favourite song was probably Immortality, because that literally sounds like Obituary. But yeah, I thought this was really good, and I've got to listen to some more of these because I think they've done about 8 albums. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking at checking out some more of these. And the last of the unknown bands is this, and this is the Autumn Offering, and this album's called Embrace the Gutter. This is their second album. And this band is an American metalcore band formed in 1999, and they did 5 albums in their time, and I really like this. I thought this had the classic 2000s metalcore kind of tone, sound. You know, if you're into stuff like Shadows Fall and All That Remains and Partway Drive and all that kind of stuff, I think you would really enjoy this. It's got that kind of same tone and sound. Some awesome riffs, some really nice guitar solos. It's very melodic death metal infused as well. So yeah, some really cool guitar solos. I think this was produced by Jason Sukoff, and obviously he's done a lot of pretty big bands over the years. He's produced for Death Angel and Trivium and all sorts of bands. So yeah, this is well up my street. I really enjoyed it, and it's a shame that they only did 5 albums and they haven't really done anything for quite a long time now. So yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, if you're into that sort of 2000s style metalcore and you don't know this, then definitely check it out. And I will be looking to check out some more of their stuff as well, because I thought it was great. Now we're going to move on to the more well-known bands, and first up, a bit of black metal, Marduk, and this is Le Grand Dance Macabre, their 7th album. And this album I've seen on rankings, it's more towards the bottom, and I can kind of understand why listening to it. I felt the track listing was a bit strange, because you had 2 instrumentals in the first 3 songs, and you know, I love instrumentals, but I just felt that was a bit of a strange decision to have 2 instrumentals so early in the album, and then like in the middle of the album you had the 2 longest songs. I just felt that was a little bit of a drag. but you know, I did like a lot of the songs actually. I thought the Azrael was pretty good. Obedience unto Death. Uh, I quite liked the last song as well, Jesus Christ Sodomized. But yeah, it definitely wasn't bad, but I can see why a lot of people would have this one towards the bottom of a ranking. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I like Legion as the vocalist. I think he's great. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Next up, some death metal, Deicide, and this is In Torment in Hell from 2001, their 6th album. This is actually the first Deicide album that I've got in my collection. I mean, I am a fan of Deicide, but I've not listened to them anywhere near as much as I probably should have. But yeah, I'd never listened to this one before, so it was cool to listen to it for the first time, and I thought it was quite good. You know, there was nothing outstanding, I don't think, but there was nothing terrible either. It was, for the most part, it was some, you know, good mid-paced kind of death metal. It wasn't as fast as their early stuff, but there's some great guitars, and I liked the vocals, even though Glenn Benton, he stuck mostly with like more of a deeper register. He didn't do any of his like shrieks that he's known for. But yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty good, and I definitely need to listen to some more Deicide because yeah, my Deicide collection is very small. Next up, it's a band from Sweden, Vomitory, and this is their 3rd album called Revelation Nausea, and yeah, this was the first time me listening to this band. I've known about this band for quite a long time. They put an album out a few years ago, and a lot of the guys in the VC was raving about it, but I never had a chance to listen to it. But when I got this, I thought I'm definitely going to give it a go, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of like Bolt Thrower. It's like a Swedish Bolt Thrower in areas. There's some real nice grooves, but then there's also some real fast pummeling sections as well, which I really liked. Yeah, some really heavy stuff at times. I think the only thing I had to say to criticise would be like sometimes the vocals felt a little bit buried in the mix. I would have liked them to have been just a little bit more, you know, a little bit up in the mix. But apart from that, you know, I thought it was really solid, and I definitely would like to check out more from this band. Moving on, and next up I've got Voivod, and this is their self-titled album from 2003, their 10th album. And looking at the discography, this is a little bit of a comeback because there was about a 6-year gap between albums. Yeah, I've recently been getting into Voivod over the last couple of years. I got the box set of their classic era, but I never really went much into their middle period before, so it was interesting to listen to this one. I quite liked it. It was a bit long, I'll say that. It's about an hour and 5 minutes, and it was a little bit difficult to get through the whole thing in one go. But I think, you know, there was a lot of good tracks there that I did enjoy. The songs, some of them sounded a bit punky, and then others had a bit more of like a classic heavy metal kind of sound, but obviously mixed into that progressive sound that Voivod are known for. I liked the vocals. I thought they kind of had just a little tinge of like a grunge vibe to them, and I quite liked that. But yeah, like individual tracks, I thought all of them were pretty good actually, pretty decent. And of course, this album features Jason Newsted on the bass, which is pretty cool. Nice little nugget of information there. Yeah. And ironic, this come out in 2003 when his previous band put out that album. Yeah, no, I quite liked it overall. I thought it was a pretty decent album, and I definitely would like to check out more of that mid-period Voivod. Next up, Sodom. This is a band that I've not really listened to much at all, really. I've got one album I got from Trevor. What was it called? Decision Day. So this is my second Sodom album I've got in my collection. This is Masquerade in Blood. And again, I saw a few rankings put this one sort of low to mid. I can kind of see why. It's definitely not like anything they've done before. You know, it's sort of punky, groovy. Kind of got labeled, I think, as death metal. Because literally, I think the only song that sounded death metal was the title track, Masquerade in Blood. I think the rest of it kind of had more of like a punk vibe. Especially songs like Brain Dead and Varake. But yeah, yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. There was one song that sounded like Motorhead, and I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Fields of Honor. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, this is a band that I definitely need to listen to more of. I need to check out their 80s stuff because I never have, and I should really, because I don't think I've listened to the best of this band yet, and yeah, I do enjoy what I have heard of this band, but I just need to listen to more. And lastly, I got this, which is Destruction, and it's like 2 albums in one. You get the Mad Butcher EP and Eternal Devastation, and Eternal Devastation's on the back there. And honestly, this was also my first time listening to this band, and I know that's sacrilege to say because they're such a legendary thrash metal band, but I'd never really got into the German thrash metal stuff. It's only recently, really, over the last like 2 or 3 years, that I started listening to more of the German stuff, like Creator, and a bit of Sodom, and now a bit of Destruction. Obviously, I saw them back in October as well, where they played with Testament and Obituary, and they were great. And I did dive in with a few more of their albums back then, but obviously I spent a bit more time with these. I'm going to talk about Eternal Devastation first, because that was technically the album that come out before Mad Butcher, even though the track listing has got Mad Butcher first and then Eternal Devastation. I don't understand why they did that, but anyway, Eternal Devastation, what an awesome album that is. Just I can see why it's a classic thrash album. It's fast, it's aggressive, it's heavy, some really great riffs, solos. I think probably my favourite song is probably Curse of the Gods. They played that one when we went to see them. But also, I really like United by Hatred. Life Without Sense was wicked. And Upcoming Devastation is a really cool instrumental. Yeah, I thought it was really awesome. But I think my favourite Destruction album so far is Life in Agony. I think, not Life in Agony. Release from Agony. That's it. Release from Agony is an awesome album, and I definitely would like to pick that up at some point. But yeah, the Mad Butcher EP, I thought it was pretty cool. There was 2 new songs, and then there was a cover, and a re-recording of Mad Butcher from their debut EP. And yeah, I think it sets up the next album really nicely, actually. Especially with the 2 songs that they wrote for the EP. Project Emotions is really cool, and then The Last Judgment is a great instrumental, very kind of neoclassical. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Destruction, better late than never, but I do really enjoy this band, and I would really like to get released from Agony at some point. So that was my latest update, albeit a few months later than I would have liked. Um, I'd love to know your thoughts on any of these albums. If you could give me recommendations for some of the bands that I'm new to, like Vomitory and Sodom and Destruction, that'd be awesome. And Deicide. Thanks again, Simon, for sending me all these. I really, really appreciate it. Your generosity is just it just knows no bounds. I've seen some of the recent VCLT that he's sent out, and it's just insane. And yeah, I've got one more part of the stuff that Simon sent me. I'll probably do that sometime over the year. If I find a gap and I haven't got anything else that I want to do, I might just, get them all together and check them out, and then just show them like I've just done with this video. I've got a few things lined up. I'd like to do some rankings, and I've got a couple of top 10s that I might do, like top 10 albums. So I'd like to do them at some point. It was actually the channel anniversary about a week ago, but I didn't feel like I wanted to do anything for it because, it's just, time just didn't really allow for me to do anything for it. Plus, I'm not really that bothered anymore, to be honest. I just like doing videos as and when, and just giving updates on things when I can. And hopefully I will have a few updates coming very soon regarding music and other things. So yeah, if you got this far, thanks ever so much for watching. Until the next time, keep it metal.